안녕하세요, 여러분. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Hello to parents and students and guests. Welcome to Sarang-e Hanguk, Sarang-e South Korea webinar organized by the IES Foundation Indonesia. Wow, we have more than 500 participants registered. Hello from the participant in Zoom and in the YouTube. Welcome. Before we start, for participants on the Zoom, please mute your microphone during the webinar. It will be much appreciated. We will have a Q&A session after all speakers share their information. You can use hand raise button. You can look at it now for the participant in Zoom and ask your question directly to the speaker, or you can write it on the chat box. As for those who's watching from YouTube, if you have questions, you can write it on the chat or the comment. We will compile all the questions and I will read it to the speakers for you. I hope that's clear. 감사합니다. Right, ladies and gentlemen, 잘 지냈어요? How are you today? We hope everyone here is doing great. And this webinar will not lessen your excitement to know more about study in South Korea. We are very delighted to have you here today at this informative event, and I hope you are as excited as I am about today's topic. Well, 제 이름은 마린다입니다. 만나서 반갑습니다. My name is Marinda, and I will be your moderator for today's. 잘 부탁드립니다. As we know, nowadays K-pop and K-drama is globally well known, from the BTS to the NCT and TXT, from the K-drama Full House to Penthouse, from movies, Train to Busan and Parasite, and the list goes on. As this entertainment industry of South Korea is rapidly growing, more and more people all around the world are interested in Hanguk. It helps South Korea to expose people to Korean culture, foods like tteokbokki or bibimbap, to Korean fashion, and of course, the language. Learning a new language could be a challenge, right? It takes a determination and willingness to learn. Well, if you already fell in love with South Korea, learning the Hangukgo or Hangukmal will be a great way to express your love to the oppas or onnis of your favorite groups or dramas, or simply you just want to learn about the language. Because by learning a new language, you can improve your skill that could be beneficial for your future career. So where should you start? Well, joining this webinar by the IES is a good start. So you are in good place. And hopefully it will give you an insightful experience. Today, IES invites remarkable speakers that will introduce you more to South Korea. All right, before we start, I would like to show you a video about IES Foundation, the foundation behind today's webinar. Let's check it out. tell you a little bit about IES program. So IES Foundation is a center of study information locally and globally. And IES is International Standardized Test Center of English for TOEFL ITP, TOEFL Primary for primary school students, TOEFL Junior for junior high school students, issued by ETS, the English Testing Service USA, IELTS standing for International English Language Test System in cooperation with IDP, and TOEIC standing for Test of English for International Communication, English and Training Center, other languages centers such as French, Japanese, Mandarin, Arabic, German, and of course, Korean, and many more. We provide the services in giving information about study overseas and helping you to apply to school or higher education globally. Also, we have an exchange program. Wow, that's very exciting. Summer program and language training program for teacher or public and other program as needed arise. If you would like to know more, you can always check our website at www.is.or.id. All right, moving on, ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct privilege to invite Ibu Erika Sharif as the director of IES Foundation to give her welcoming speech. To Ibu Erika, please, the floor is yours. You're still on mute, Bu Erika. Yes.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. The only word that I know about Korean is 안녕하세요. I don't know the other words, but this is the only word that I know about Korean. Okay, welcome to our IES International Webinar Series 10. It is a great pleasure to have you here today. We hope the information given will help you to make more understanding about Korean and educational opportunity, language course, and pursuing your degree at their school or higher education, exchange program, summer program, homestay program, cultural thing, that many others. This webinar will open your mind and broaden your knowledge as well as many things about Korea. By listening to this webinar, I hope you are not only know about K-pop, Korean drama, fashion, and food, but the opportunity to have a better future life. In this opportunity, I would like to thank Mr. Wook Choi, Mr. Youngju Choi, and Mr. Oni Jamhari for sharing their information, programs, and knowledge about Korea. Hope your information given will bring many prospective students to your country, and they will return to Indonesia as a new person with broader knowledge and creativity in developing this country, and also become a new leader with global experience in hand. As always, I would like to thank my great IES team for preparing and setting in the webinar event. Thanks to the moderator Marinda for running this event. You are awesome. I think it is time for us to hear from the speakers. Let's together we listen to their presentation. Thank you. Rinda.
Yes, thank you, Bu Erika. Kamsahamnida. Thank you for the warm welcome. All right. It is my distinct privilege to invite Mr. Wook Choi as the manager at Center for International Relations at Hannam University, South Korea. A little bit of information about his education background. Mr. Wook Choi has a Master of Art in Business Administration from Kyunghee University and also Master of Art in Chinese Language and Literature from Hankook University of Foreign Studies. In 2018, he received an official commendation from the Minister of Education Korea for excellence in managing academic affairs. Wow, what a great accomplishment, right? So I'm sure you are in good hands. 안녕하세요, Mr. Wook Choi.
안녕하세요. 반갑습니다. 사랑의 한국 웨비나에 오신 여러분을 환영합니다.
네.
Welcome, 사랑의 한국 웨비나.
Yes, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good,
Great
awesome.
time. Thank you for your beautiful event. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, now we will start to hear about Hannam University and online Korean language program. and how
Yeah.
to pursue your future in South Korea directly from Mr. Wook Choi.
Yeah.
So we will show the video first, and afterwards, Mr. Wook Choi will give his presentation. Right. So for the video, please.
Over 60 years ago, a small building was erected on a desolate field, and having received plenty of warm sunlight, it developed into a magnificent campus with state-of-the-art technology, a university that has both young passion and dreams of another 100 years. Log in Hanam University. Hanam maintains its history and tradition and yet makes ceaseless effort to innovate as a university. Through 60 years of consistent teaching, Hanam University transcends Daejeon, the central region of Korea, and the world as it prepares for an even brighter tomorrow. We nurture open-minded people who are ahead of their times. Hanam University creates an environment that combines academic pursuits with cultural activities to provide various forms of education and opportunities to cultivate talented students for constant growth. Hanam strives to prepare global leaders who are well prepared to impact the world and become the best in their fields. Beginning with just 3 departments, Biblical Studies, English Literature, and Chemistry, Hanam University is now the top private university in the central region of Korea, with 5 graduate schools, 8 colleges, 3 independent colleges, and 52 departments and majors. In particular, the Daedok Valley campus, created in 2004 on a 23-acre plot, is the first nationwide industry academic cooperation campus complex that provides one-stop education, research, business, and production facilities. Hanam University not only plants the seed of knowledge, but offers wisdom on how to sensibly use such knowledge, and is devoted to professional and systematic education, drawing from the unique aptitudes and gifts of each learner and allowing room for growth as a creative professional. In addition, Hanam University is beginning a new future by creating a state-of-the-art urban industrial complex campus innovation park that includes businesses, startup support facilities, housing, and cultural facilities to become a driving force for regional innovation, development, and growth.
산학협력단과 공동연구 개발을 통해 신기술 창업 기업의 리더가 될 수 있도록 최선을 다하고 있습니다.
The producer of global leaders prepared to impact the world, Hanam University was already at the level of the international standard at the time of inception, offering classes conducted by English native speakers. Starting by forming a sisterhood relationship with Shikoku University in 1978, Hanam's global network has expanded to include 260 universities from more than 50 countries around the world. With a tradition that reflects a strong foundation in English education, the university has developed into a cradle that produces 21st century global elites who are creating a better tomorrow. The university also aims to become famous by transcending the national standard by aiming for the global standard through its various global educational programs for training international professionals.
Hannam University provides an environment for meeting and interacting with students from all over the world. Here I have learned not only about Korean culture but about many others, and it makes me feel at home.
Hannam University strives to cultivate globally talented students with Christian character based on the university motto of truth, freedom, and service. Out of the more than 100,000 alumni, Hannam University has nurtured 14 university presidents and college deans, as well as over 1,000 teachers, lawmakers, and corporate CEOs to meet the needs of our changing times and society. Since its founding, Hannam University continues to improve by consistently receiving the highest evaluation grades by the Korean Ministry of Education, fulfilling all 30 accreditation criteria during the second round of the nationwide university accreditation evaluation. Hannam University is ranked first among all private universities in the Daejeon-Chungcheong region in surveys on brand reputation. Hannam University also received a Grade A evaluation as a leading startup college for 3 consecutive years and was selected as the regional base for the Daejeon and Sejong regions by the Korean Ministry of Employment and Labor for the University Creative Job Center to support various opportunities for experience and employment. Every year, Hannam University continues to maintain record-high employment rates as well as produce senior candidates who consistently receive top-level rankings on the National Secondary School Teacher Recruitment Exams.
안녕하세요. 한남대학교 총장 이광섭입니다. 한남대학교는 진리, 자유, 봉사의 창화 기념을 바탕으로 인성 중심의 창의적 인재를 양성하고 있습니다. 우리 학생들은 한남대학교에서 4차 산업혁명 시대에 맞는 다양한 기초 소양 교육과 수준 높은 전공 교육 및 융복합 교육을 통해 글로벌 인재로 성장할 것입니다.
나에게 한남이란?
한남대학교는 나에게 한남이란
쉼터다,
등대다, 통이다, 파트너다,
고단백 영양식이다. The future.
패션,
가서라, 동학이다,
긍지입니다.
Log in Hannam University.
Yes, Mr. Wuchoi, you can start your presentation.
Okay, I will share my PPT file. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Did you enjoy the video? How do you think about the Hannam University? Yeah, it was a short video, but I believe you can get much things about Hannam University from it. If you have any question, don't miss Q&A session. Okay, next, I will introduce our online Korean language program. Yeah, due to the coronavirus pandemic, the untapped era has begun. So to respond this era, our Korean Language Center has developed online language program. Now, you don't need to come to Korea for learning Korean language. Just apply for our online program. Then you can learn authentic Korean in real time anywhere in the world. This program contains the know-how of Hannam University's excellent Korean language education program. We used high technology and created an optimal learning environment with various contents, which is no different from offline classes. We have established the blended learning system that combines non-face-to-face remote learning and offline education. It enables students continue to study Korean language or apply degree courses in Korea. And if you complete this program successfully, you will receive various benefits. First of all, I will explain about the online Korean language program platform. You will use this program when you learn online Korean language program. This platform consists of 4 parts: live video solution, online class, e-learning, and LMS. Live video solution provides a real-time feedback based on smart learning, and it is optimized for global video classes without space-time constraints. E-learning also provides you a best learning environment along with live video solution. Through e-learning, 4 levels of customized lectures are available, and students can review and preview themselves. In addition, a multilingual topic test course will be provided. Online classes are equipped with smart learning materials, so you can learn Korean by using video or voice contents with your desktop or mobile. LMS is a learning management system that can manage attendance, grades, evaluation, etc. You can also record the contents of the classes. This is a picture of a platform. Students will use this platform. Second, I will explain online Korean language program. The program is based on 20-week courses, but we can run a 10-week courses depending on the situation. Class hours are 4 hours a day and 20 hours a week from Monday to Friday. The tuition fee is $1,400 for 20-week course. We have 4 levels: beginner 1, beginner 2, intermediate 1, and 2. Students will take classes according to their level of Korean language. And a certificate under the name of Hannam University will be issued to those who have completed the program. And admission priority will be given when studying at Hannam University in the future. Next, let's check the admission requirement. There are 2 qualifications for applying for online Korean language program. One is a passion for learning Korean language, and the other one is academic background above high school graduation. It is so simple. And let's check Hannam University's admission requirement. Those who complete the online Korean language program can enter the Korean language courses. This language course means offline classes, which is held in Hannam University. And the degree course requires one of the 3 qualifications below. Level 3 or high on topic test administered by National Institute for International Education. Second, successful completion of Korean proficiency test administered by Hannam University Center for Korean Language, that means our center, and completion of level 3 program or higher at Hannam Center for Korean Language Center. Yeah. If you study at Hannam University after completing an online Korean language program, you will receive the following benefits. First, priority for admission of Hannam University's language course and degree course. Second, application fee exemption and 30% tuition reduction of Korean language program. Third, special scholarship for students who superior grade. This is the picture of online class. So you can also take the class like this. And this is a e-learning, and the right one is the topic test screen. Lastly, I'd like to talk about the global partnership. Our university has a business agreement with leading institutions in many countries to learn online Korean language program. So far, we have business agreement with 6 organizations in 6 countries. In Indonesia, IES is the only official partner. Therefore, if you are interested in our program, just contact IES. I would like to remind you again that IES is the representative organization of Hannam University's online program in Indonesia. Yeah, this is the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Choi. Please give a big round of applause for Mr. Wook Choi. Yay, kamsahamnida for the insightful information. So for those of you who are eager and cannot wait to learn Korean, you can always participate or join the online learning program by Hannam University. Or if you want to study your bachelor, master, Hannam University could be a great choice for you too. Right. I guess everyone here has a lot of questions to ask for Mr. Wook Choi. 잠깐만 기다려주세요. Please wait and be patient. You can ask him directly later on or write your questions at the chat box for Zoom participants or YouTube comment for those who's watching from YouTube. I would also like to inform you, if you want to get e-certificate for this event, please fill in the form from the link we shared during the webinar. Please do make sure you fill it before the end of webinar, otherwise you will not receive it. Thank you. All right. It is also such a great honor to invite our next speaker, Mr. Youngjo Choi. Mr. Youngjo Choi is the president of Global Edu Travel and also president of Sejong International Center. He will share about the Korean culture and student exchange program to us. Wow, I bet you are all so excited to hear it from him. Without further ado, please welcome Mr. Youngjo Choi. Hello, 안녕하세요, Mr. Youngjo Choi.
안녕하세요. 반갑습니다.
네, 반갑습니다.
Selamat sore.
Selamat sore. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm good.
You're good. Good to hear that. Okay, are you ready, sir?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Awesome. 지금 시작할 수 있습니다. Please, the floor is yours.
Okay. Can you help to upload the log files?
Yes, sir. You can start now.
Actually, I didn't upload my file, so can you open the file?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Please open the file for Mr. Youngjo Choi. Can you share? Right there.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for listening for this. Thank you for joining this webinar. And this is Youngjo Choi from Korea. Actually, the same name previous Mr. Choi and same last name previous to Mr. Choi. Next. So I'm the Youngjo Choi, as I told you. I'm the international exchange organizer for 15 years. Next, please. Yeah. I'd like to speak about Korea first. It's like a simple guideline, not a big. So maybe we can learn and study more later. Next. So official name is like in Korean, we say 대한민국, and in English, Republic of Korea, or shortly ROK. So we have officially 4,354 years of official history, and the 대한민국 founded 1948, August 15th. Yeah. And our capital city is Seoul. So you know that many of them. Yeah. And total area is 100,410 square meters. All Korean peninsula is like 223,000 square meters. Next. Our official language is like we call it 한국어, and our letter or like system of alphabet system, we call it Hangul. And our population is 51,082,820,000 persons. It's like this year. And our currency is Korean won. And the religions, we have Christianity, Buddhism, Catholic, and some others. But officially, so we respect all religions. Yeah. Then next. So where is the South Korea is? Like South Korea is like in between. To the west there is China, and to the east Japan, and to the northeast there is Russia. And it takes about 7 hours from Jakarta to Incheon. Yeah. So I'd also like to introduce cities of Korea and provinces. We have regularly 9 provinces and 7 metropolitan cities. Among them, like about 50.24% of the population live in Seoul, Incheon, and Gyeonggi-do province. We call this area Sudokwon, or like capital region something. Yeah. Next. This is the view of the city of Seoul. So you might come, you might enjoy, then you come some other several places in the city of Seoul. Next. This is the Busan. The Busan is the second largest city with population of 3.5 million. And it's like to the far east. And this is the Incheon city where the airport is located. It's about one hour from Incheon to Seoul. So mostly people from outside go through this like Incheon bridge. Next. This is the city of Daejeon, so we call it Science City, where Hannam University and I located in, and I live in. We see other cities like Gwangju, Jeonju, Sokcho, and other cities, but yeah, actually because of the presentation, only show you only one city here. Next. Life and culture in Korea. Actually, I'm not sure you just log in that kind of website. You will finally roughly get to understand how does Korean life. So they show you the cost of the living life in Korea and also the destinations and festivals and everything. So maybe after that you roughly log into and see how foreigners living in Korea. Yeah. Just like composition of the religion of the persons. No, Korean is totally different from the Indonesia. So in Korea, like about 57% are non-religious person. Among religious person, and some like 19% are Protestant. So or we call them or also Christianity, and 15.5% are Buddhist, and Catholic about 7.9%. It hasn't been changed because the data was from 2015 anyway, but no big difference. This is the Korean currencies. So normally when you come to Korea, you use this. Like we have biggest one is 50,000 won. Then the next one is 10,000, 5,000, and 1,000 paper. And there is coin for 500, 100, 50, 10, 5, 1. But recently we don't use 1 and 5, 1 in our daily life. Normally Big Mac is like in Korea, like 4,600 Korean won, or Big Mac set, 5,100 won. So maybe you can guess how much is the general like cost of the food. So public transportation, we have many transport. We use like train, express bus, subway, city bus, taxi. Those are main our public transportation. But we do not have like system like you. So we do not. Yeah. So when you come to Korea, you use those public transportation. Next. So our Korean culture, there is like so many different ones of Korean like traditional cultures. Actually, at the beginning of the new year, we have New Year called Seollal, and we also celebrate autumn full moon. So we call it Chuseok. It's like mid of August in lunar months. And also there are so many types of Korean music, Korean like dance, and some other things. So if you come to Korea, you can enjoy freely or with some money. But mostly there are so many like performance centers or theaters provided by the government or the cities. So you can enjoy the cultures relatively low cost or without cost. There are so many festivals. Actually, inside this kimchi festival, I just put on so many festivals on screen, but only the last one is shown. But there are like actually this from the spring, there is like strawberry festival. Strawberry is very famous. Korean strawberry is very famous. So in March, there is strawberry festival near Daejeon city. Also, in spring, this season, there is like cherry blossom festival all over the Korea, from like south to the north. Wherever you go, you can see and enjoy cherry blossoms. And also there is like something special one is like in lunar month, April 8th is the Buddhist day. So on that day, if you go to the temples, you can enjoy so many like Buddhist lanterns. So there is also Buddhist lantern temple, Buddhist lantern festival too. Also in summer, into the like west coast, there is like so-called mud festival in the west coast. So even Korean and many foreigners also come and enjoy the festival in the beach. And also Also, we have some festivals like in autumn, there is like flower festivals and some other things. Also, like you see in the many other countries like lantern festivals and firework festivals there are. So in the cities or different provinces, you can enjoy that. Next. Food. I think you have more interest in food because you have to, anyway, when you come to Korea, you have to eat. So from the left top, bibimbap and japchae and kimbap, chicken, you love chicken too. Next. So also Indonesian love like chicken. Also on top, there is like dak galbi, a little spicy. Chimta is not spicy, but yeah, you can enjoy that. Down, bulgogi and galbichim. Suppose bulgogi and galbichim are both by like beef, you can enjoy them too. Also, it could be like it's kind of on top are kind of Korean style pancake. So pajeon is like a pancake with green onion and like some seafood, and kunjungan is like a kind of pancake with oyster. So we Korean enjoy that. Also, like on top is like jogegui is like seafood BBQ or something, and on right side is like tteokbokki. You know that. Yeah, and I talk about the programs which you have interest in, but shortly I explain. Actually, youth exchanges, I've been in this area for 15 years, mostly for like junior high school or high school kids. We organize school and organization visits and homestays in Korean family, or you do perform at Korean school or at kind of cultural centers, or do some kind of art exhibitions joined together. Also, you can learn Korean language at kind of university or like at Korean school where there are some kind of free language centers. You can use them place too. And also, I organize kind of volunteer program too. Mostly term is like not less than 90 days, maximum 19 days, but short term is like, shortest one is like less than 1 week. And little longer is like 2 or 3 weeks. Some like little longer term is like 2 or 3 months, and mostly like less than 2 weeks. This is the image of the youth exchange program when I did it in Indonesia. So I did homestays and I visited ASEAN headquarters and something. So I did try to understand cultures of each country and have to try to get some more educational programs. Yeah. So we also have high school exchange student programs. It's not common or quite open, but it is available in Korea. So actually in Korea, anyone who wants to study in Korea for exchange students, they need to have permission from the high school for visa acquisition. After visa acquisition, they can come to Korea and they can go to the Korean school, I mean junior high school or high school. They go to school, then they take the class like Korean students. And they learn Korean languages outside of that. Also, they can get more like cultural excursions and cultural programs, and they can have tours, something like that. Actually, this is the guy who I does homestays with my home. He's Jimmy from the USA. Now he's gone out to meet Korean friends. Anyway, I'm doing this. So maybe if you need to know more about this program. I'll let you know more information later too. That's it. I tried to put more like images before that, but actually it's like slideshow, but only one slide shown. So I could not show you more images. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, that's all.
Yes, that's okay, Mr. Young Choi. Thank you for the insightful information. I'm drooling to see the tteokbokki and the food when you're showing the image. Oh, I wanted to. Suddenly I got hungry.
I'm hungry too.
Okay, thank you for the insightful information. It is a pleasure to know more about Hanguk Munhwa from you and to learn about the student exchange program. So please give a big round of applause for Mr. Young Choi. Yes, so as mentioned, if you have any questions, please write it at the Zoom chat box or YouTube chat or comment, or you can ask directly at the Q&A session later. 감사합니다. Reminder, don't forget to fill the form for e-certificate. The link has been shared at the Zoom and YouTube chat. All right. We have come to the last speaker, Mr. Oni Jamhari. He is the CEO of the School of Government of Public Policy in Indonesia. In 2009 until 2015, he worked as Senior Manager for International Relations at Seoul Bridge International Business School of Wusong University in Daejeon, South Korea. In 2013, he received an Outstanding Employee Award from the chairman of the Wusong Education Foundation, as well as a Foreign Model Award from the Mayor of Daejeon in 2012. He likes to write and an active blogger for compassionate.com. So if you want to read his writing, you can check compassionate.com. To sum it up, he is Tebak. Since he has lived in Daejeon for around 6 years, he will share about South Korea from the Indonesian perspective, and I hope we could relate to it. Annyeonghaseyo, Mas Oni.
Annyeonghaseyo, Mbak Marinda. So thank you very much for inviting me for this webinar. And I tried to share what I actually learned from South Korea. A little bit about my background, actually. I didn't know Korea before, of course, before I came to Korea and worked in South Korea. I came to Korea in 2009, and I worked at the one of the university, Wusong University, just the next to Hanam University. I spent like 6 years at the school, at the university, teaching and also working for their international relations in charge for the Asian regions. Now, I went back to Indonesia in 2015, and I'm now working in this school, and the School of Government and Public Policy in Indonesia. So Mr. Choi has explained a lot of things about Korea, about the culture and everything. I just want to add something about Korea from my perspective. Indonesian working in South Korea. When I came to Korea, K-pop is still booming. I mean, like everybody wants to know more about K-pop. I actually want to visit some places in Korea, and just like others, like youth people, like I really want to know more about Korea. But the thing is, Korea is not just only K-pop. Actually, K-pop is just one of the Koreans' entertainment. I do enjoy actually living in Korea because they have 4 seasons, and this is totally different, of course, with us because we only have 2 seasons. And I think because most of you actually you want to learn the language as well as the culture. Our culture is totally different with Korea. It's the first is about the season, as mentioned earlier. The second is actually the work habit, or I can say the study habit of Korean people. when you come to Korea, probably you never imagine that this is what I like about Korea actually. The library, especially if you study during the midterm and final exam, is 24 hours open. So I do enjoy just, like studying in the library, having my coffee, and then, like staying late and just having like, here now we have a Grab and so on, you just call, just order the chicken and then just try to eat in the library. That's the best, I think, one of the best things that I learned in Korea, that people actually in their studying had, especially not only during the midterm and the final exams, but also actually during the weekdays. And the third one, actually, because I'm working there, so the thing is that Korean people, they're very punctual, they're always on time, and it's kind of like things that you have to learn. So especially those people who want to, let's say, to make an appointment, then you have to be punctual. And then I learned a lot that they never miss, promise. Like for example, 5 o'clock, just I have to be 5 o'clock in the meeting. So no jam karet in Korea. And then the third one is about the discipline. The discipline means that they actually, in Korea, people really respect in the nature. That's why I learned a lot. If you have, like, say, here, like we have a big problem in the waste management. In Korean people, they can, just separate waste. And then they, I don't know how they manage their waste, but I think one of the best, things that people actually learn about the waste management in South Korea. And you go to Seoul and on the, the river, the river in the city is very clean, and just people walk and then enjoy the scenery in Korea. I wish that Jakarta will be like that, especially in the Ciliwung area. And I think many people also learn about the pali-pali. Pali-pali is Korean cultures that they want to do everything very fast. I think for some of us, the thing is that we don't get used to that kind of culture. So when my boss told me, only pali-pali means that I have to finish my work, my everything very fast. And sometimes it's just like, I cannot do that. But the thing is that the good thing is that then you can finish your let's say assignment, whatever, this is on time. And I think those who want to learn Korean language, or you want to visit Korea, I think Korea is one of the safest country in the world. So people, they can just, go during the night, and it's pretty safe. People will not disturb you. Just they really respect. And the thing that probably Mr. Choi highlighted, that in Korea, the mostly actually they're non-religions. But the thing is that especially for Muslim who want to travel Korea, I think now the halal, whatever, things, it's very it's very common that you can find place to pray, and also halal food that you can, order everything online. So when you have Korea, then Mr. Cho also mentioned about the public transportations. You don't need to have a car, whatever. You just, use all the public transportation. They're very well, and then never imagine from Seoul to Daejeon, because Hannam University is located in Daejeon, by KTX only 50 minutes to 1 hour. It's very fast, with the fastest train in Korea. Everything is connected in Korea. And
Oh, I think Mr. Oni has some technical problem. Hello, Mr. Oni? All right. Probably Mr. Yes. Okay. So that's a little bit information about Mr. Oni's experience, where when he stayed in the Korea for like 6 years. Can we continue? I'll like to remind you again about the certificate. Please fill the form at the link that we share at the Zoom and the YouTube chat before the end of this program to be able you to receive it. We will not process your e-certificate if you fill it after the webinar end. All right, I think Mr. Oni got a little problem in his connection. So maybe we could move along with the Q&A session. So yes, I think you have heard all the exciting information like from Mr. Wook Choi from Hanam University and about their online language program, and for Mr. Youngjo Choi about their exchange program and the culture of Republic of Korea in general. So I think you have a lot of questions here. So we are opening the Q&A session now. Please click the raise hand button and we will let you ask questions to our awesome speakers here. So if anyone would like to ask directly, I'm opening the question for the Zoom participant first. Is there anyone to? Yes, we have Abiripa. Hello. Hello, Abiripa. Good afternoon. Hello. You can unmute your microphone. Hello. Abiripa, do you have any question? Okay, maybe I just read the chat on the Zoom. This is from Daris Pradipta. This is for Mr. Wook Choi. He has a questions. He's a little confused by the people who can register. Can high school students enroll in the Korean language courses too? And are there certain conditions for enrolling in the program? Are the high school students, Mr. Wook Choi, can they apply to the online Korean language program?
Unfortunately, according to our rules of Korea Language Center, the high school student cannot register the program right now. But if many students want to apply for the online program, we can discuss later about this matter.
Okay, so case by case, right?
But by now, we can't accept high school student. I'm so sorry for that. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to graduate first from high school, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I hope that's clear enough for Daris Pradipta. Okay, moving on. We have from Luil Maknun. I have a question again for Hanam University, Mr. Wook Choi. When the summer program start? Summer program start when?
Yes. Our summer program will start early in the June. Yeah. So now we are. I'm talking about offline Korean language courses in Korea. We are now accepting the application. So quite close the period application period. But yeah, but the online program, regarding online program, we will discuss with IES. Yeah, that will be enough to the question. Yeah.
And she asked about the tuition. Is this in Korean won, right? How
No,
much?
it is a US dollar,
US
1,400 won for 20-week courses.
Okay. So she also asking about are there scholarship for magister or are there exchange for college student? Any scholarship for international students?
Yeah. We have scholarship for foreign student, but I have a question. Magister means a master?
Master, yes.
Yeah. Our graduate school have a special scholarship for the foreign student.
Mhm.
They give 60% scholarship for the first semester.
Mhm.
From the second semester, according to their grade, they can get from 30% to 60% scholarship. Yeah, we provide. I will give you the detailed information after the meeting.
Okay. So wow, that's a big, like 60% of scholarship overall tuition fee, right, sir?
Yes, exactly.
Wow, yeah. But the competition is tough, right, for scholarship. So you have to have
No
a
competition.
good grade.
No competition. If you are foreigner, you can get a scholarship, but not for the Korean student.
All right. I hope that's clear enough for Luil Magnun. Okay, moving on. I'm going to read the third questions again from Afifah Millenia for Hanam University. Is there any transfer program from associate degree to bachelor's degree in Hanam University? And the scholarship program for international student has already been answered. So yeah, is there any like associate degree to bachelor degree? Mr. Book Choi?
Sorry, repeat it again.
Transfer programs. So like associate degree is like 3 years college in Indonesia, and then transfer. They want to continue the bachelor degree in Hanam University.
Yes, exactly. We have one. We have the program. After student who studied 2 years in Indonesia, then he can transfer to our university as a sophomore. No. Third grade, yeah.
Third year.
Third year, yeah.
Third year. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but the requirement is different, depends on the major she take, right? Or
yeah.
Or is it like
requirement is one is the credit. How many credit he get in Indonesian university? And second one is a Korean language level. Yeah. Because we except one major, our all classes conducted in Korean. So students need to learn Korean. The level is the level 3 in topic test. Yeah.
So you have to join the online Korean program first.
Exactly.
I have that
That's
clear.
the reason why we are doing this right now.
Yes, of course. I hope that answer. Okay. We have a question from YouTube, I guess. From Widyarini Dewi Umara. I would like to ask the major strength of Hanam University, and do you provide internship to companies in Korea?
Okay. First one, major strengths. We have many majors in undergraduate and graduate school, more than 50 majors in undergraduate. Especially we have Linton School of Global Business, which classes conducted in 100% English. So some students want to come to Korea, but he don't want to learn Korean language. We can accept him. And we have some bio nanoscience major. The field is also strong. And next year, we newly open cosmetic science regarding cosmetics. So if there are students who are interested in Korean cosmetics, he can apply that majors. And we have many engineering majors. Their fields are also strong. Or professors studied in Europe or America. They have good knowledges and study. Yeah. And the second question regarding the internship program, we have special teams for job recruiting. The team provide all Hanam University students the chance to getting job or internship. So if a student interested in that internship, they can get much information from that teams. Yeah.
I hope that answers. So the major strength is science and engineering. So shout out to the science students who wants to go to Hanam University. Okay, the next question is from Maria Evita Bawole. I live in Pontianak. I want to ask you what the requirements are for going to Hanam University, Korea. So maybe this is for a bachelor degree. Do you have like general requirements to be accepted in Hanam University?
Okay, the qualification, admission required is so simple. The one is for bachelor degree. At least they have the academic background, the high school graduation. The second one is a language, Korean language. So just simple, the two requirements. Yeah.
Yes. So again, online learning program.
Exactly.
So this one is from Maylizia Salma. I have one question. Maybe this is for Mr. Youngjo Choi. From Maylizia Salma, do we have to able to speak Korean fluently when we want to take part in student exchange?
Like it does not for the exchange programs, you don't have to speak English or Korean fluently because it's like exchange program, so you can do with certain level of English or Korean is going to be good. Actually, you don't need a special level of Koreans.
Okay, so you just apply to the exchange program and you can learn when you go to Korea, right?
Yeah. So because it's like high school exchange programs, not like universities, different. Yeah.
Yes, of course. Okay, I hope that answer. Maylizia. This one is from Zalfa Asla. Hello, I'm Zalfa. I would like to ask Mr. Youngjo Choi, is there any exchange program for college students?
Actually, for the college students, you normally between the university or college. Yeah. Maybe IIES maybe can be a partner, or we can jointly make the program for the program. But at the moment, I do not have special program for only one school or college. Maybe jointly we can make a program. Then we just organize and do something with a special college.
Yeah, maybe we can do that with Hanam University for the college.
Yeah, Hanam is a good way. Yeah.
All right. So this one is for Mas Oni, I guess. Now from Desi Ramadhani. Mas Oni, are you there?
Yes,
Are
I'm
you
here.
joining us?
Sorry for the connection.
Is your connection good?
Yeah, okay, I'm okay.
Okay, so this is a question from Desi Ramadhani. I want to ask about the culture shock. Is there any solution for us to be prepared in order to face the culture shock in Korea, especially if it is the first time for us? So,
the culture shock, I think, of course, I got my culture shock when I was coming to Korea for the first time because it was winter. And winter in Korea is pretty cold. You know, like it could be -degree. But the thing is that when you are in the university or whatever, like Mr. Choi, you know, like like they will take care of you actually. So the culture shock means that of course you will get the culture because it's totally different, but there are many people around you that will help you to overcome your culture shock. So yeah, if you need to go in Korea, then you have to make sure when you are going to go to South Korea. It's summer, no problem. Summer is like in our country.
always summer in Indonesia.
One is about the food, right? Many people actually coming from Indonesia, they want to try the halal food or, you know, like, especially for Muslim. But in Daejeon, actually, Daejeon is pretty, you know, like international, I guess. There are a lot of international restaurants. There is an international mart that you can buy even all Indonesians groceries there, and you can cook by yourself. So it's pretty, you know, like it's pretty easy actually to go around, and with the help actually with the language center, you can speak Korean or a little bit. Then you know, like you can navigate or you can, you know, like just enjoy Korea. Other than that, I don't think that you will get culture shock. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So first one is to prepare yourself. It's you go in winter, right? Mas Oni. All right.
And it is also like Islam community, so you can relatively easy to get accustomed because there is community of Indonesians.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And also for Christians, actually, very good because there are a lot of churches there, and you know, like you can practice and you can meet them every Saturday or Sunday. So regardless whatever religions you are, you know, like it's just Korean. They respect your religions. They you know, appreciate your culture. And I think that's the benefits if you want to study in South Korea.
Yes, just respect each other, right? Okay, so this one is for Mas Oni again, from Adinda Nur Anisha. She's watching us from YouTube. I want to ask Mr. Oni Jamhari, how long do you get used to Korean culture? Like everything must fast and discipline, and yeah. How long did you get used to
I
culture?
guess actually it depends, but for me, I think after spring, after it's warm, then I think I can, you know, like get all my difficulties. You know, like spring is very beautiful in Korea, and it's just started in usually like this one. I think this week we have spring, beautiful cherry blossoms in the whole Korea. And here in Indonesia, sometimes we don't, you know, like respect the weather. But in Korea, you know, like I myself, you know, like I really appreciate the culture, not only the culture, but also the weather. Every time I go outside, I will check what is, you know, like the weather in South Korea, because I think it will give you, you know, like your mood. You know, like if it is just a gloomy, I think that will be totally different. But in spring or fall, oh, that's, you know, like that was beautiful. So you have to come to Korea during spring or autumn. Very beautiful. Totally, totally that we never see like the color, you know, like of leaves change. like that will be another experience. Although, like I every year I have the same thing, but I still, I still love it, because it's totally different and it makes feel like comfortable. And previously, there is also a question regarding the working in South Korea. Korean people, like as I mentioned earlier, they're very punctual, they're very disciplined. I know that sometimes not easy, but after some time, like say 6 months or 1 year, then they get used to. And I think in the university, there are some people, actually in the international office, who can actually support you during your study or work in South Korea. So that will be a big problem, language, food and everything. And then you will enjoy Korea.
Okay, so you get used to it if you like, if it's every day, like you get used to if you every day, right?
Yes.
So this one is coming from Fahrizal Amri. Maybe it's for Mas Oni also, as you are a Muslim, right?
Yes.
So he is asking about, because I'm Muslim and my environment is Muslim, it will be very difficult for me to adapt to the environment there.
I don't think so. As mentioned by Mr. Choi, there is an Islamic community in Daejeon. They have a prayer room, or we call it like this, a musola, and then you can, you can pray there. And I think Daejeon also is pretty international. Many international study in Daejeon, and they're not coming only from Indonesia, but also they come from all over the world, like from the Middle East and so on. So it's not that difficult actually to find like a place to do the worship or everything. And if they don't provide the musola or prayer room, you can just find an empty space, then you can pray. And it's pretty clean. Then I just I just want to emphasize here, in Korea, everything is clean, just amazing. Clean and neat, like like when you watch the Korean movie, that's things, clean and neat, really good. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Mas Oni. Another one is from Khairiyatul Anissa. I think it's maybe for Mr. Young Jo Choi. I want to ask about the culture in South Korean. Is there a tradition or culture when you eat in South Korea, like in Indonesia, where the majority of the people using their hands to eat, like you use chopsticks, like, right? Do you have any like tradition or culture when you eat, like when the youngest one is pouring your drink for the older one or something like that? Maybe could you explain a little bit about that, Mr. Young Jo Choi?
Sometimes when I was young, I used my hand too to eat. And normally it's okay. Normally we use like chopstick, but youngs, they use fork, it's okay. Spoon, and we have fork and spoon, so it's okay. You don't need to use chopstick too. But for that food, then maybe so we respect the like elders and the old people. It's similar to also Indonesia. So there is some certain rules to respect the elders, but it's not that difficult. Yeah, maybe if you live here and somebody will teach you, because any Korean will guide you or teach you. If you do something wrong, then they will let you know. So it one that typical, I guess. Yeah.
All right. So I hope that answer. Another one. Oh, this one is from Adinda Nurah. Okay. Hello. I want to ask, what about the cost of living in Korea, and what needs to be prepared to live and study there? Maybe Mr. Young Jo Choi could answer that, or Mas Oni? The living cost in.
Based on my experience, studying in Korea compared to other countries, quite cheap actually. Why quite cheap compared to other countries? Well, actually, you have international experience as well, and I can learn other cultures. The thing in Korea, most universities, especially if you study undergraduate, they have a dormitory atau asrama. The dormitory in South Korea is really subsidized by the university. I guess Hannam University has a dormitory, and then the price is, it's like when you actually study in Jakarta. Probably sometimes in Jakarta is more expensive than in Daejeon, especially in terms of dormitory, because it's subsidized by the university. And the facilities in dormitories, it's good because they're not only having a study room, but also they're having a cafeteria, and then a place to it's kind of like sport, like just a student lounge that students they can hang out and just can mingle with others. So this is the cost of living in South Korea, especially if you want to live in the dormitory. I guess it's around 3 million rupiah per month. 2 to 3 million per month, but if they share a room, then I don't think it's cheaper even. Again, in Jakarta is quite expensive actually. But the thing is the expectation. In Indonesia, usually we have a big space, right? While in South Korea, usually they need small, but they need and clean. So you cannot compare actually. Like South Korea is, if you have a big space, you're very lucky. But again, although it's small compared to our dorms, but again, neat and clean. It really helps you actually to study and to focus your study. This is the thing actually that I really love about Korea. Even a small place, small thing, but just neat and clean. The second one is about to prepare. The Hannam University is already explained to you, and the preparation, I think, for the undergraduate, if it is in Korean language, then you have to pass what we call topic. Topic is So it's a kind of like TOEFL. That is, you have to master the topic, and then to enter university, you have to have at least topic 3. Topic 3, then you can study in Korean. Then the language course at the moment, that will be great. I do not know whether the border of Korea is open now for international students, but it's not. Then while you are preparing yourself to study in South Korea, you can study the online program offered by Hannam University. So this is the thing actually that you can prepare. I don't know how long that you can master the topic, but at least, it's first, it will save your money as well. You don't need to travel to Korea for the study preparation, a language preparation. Then 1 year is enough, then you can study. That's the thing. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Masoni, for the explanation. I hope that answer. One more question. One last question. This is for Mr. Wook Choi from Yimna Melia. I want to ask if at Hannam University, do they have master for tourism major? Do you have master for tourism major and any scholarship for that department?
Yes. Our graduate school have department of MICE, hotel and tourism, and students who apply that major can scholarship. As I told you before in advance, up to 60% or scholarship according to the grading. So study hard, you can get scholarship.
Yes, thank you. Right, study hard and you can get scholarship and learn online Korean language to get the topic.
Yeah, but need Korean language.
Yes. So yeah.
So to add actually, Marinda, actually for the graduate school, the Korean government or most Korean universities, they're very generous to give you scholarship. Check their tuition fee. if you compare the tuition fee I think compared to our university in Indonesia, then with the scholarship from Korean university, the price will be more or less the same. Just check it. I think actually how much, Mr. Choi, for one semester in Korea at the moment, approximately, let's say in Hannam University, how much for one semester in Hannam University without the scholarship in Korean won?
For maybe 3 million to up to 4 million in Korean won.
Yeah, see, 3 million to 4 million in Korean won is equal about 50 million rupiah, 50 juta rupiah. Then if you got 60% of scholarship, is around 20 or 25, millions per semester. Then it's time for, then 100 juta rupiah, right? And then if you see all of the university in Indonesia, the big school, look at them. Their tuition fee is more than 100,000 rupiah for 2 years, 100 juta rupiah. So there are a lot of benefits. Of course, the living cost will depends on the on your preparations. But the thing is that Daejeon is not a big city like Seoul, but it's close to Seoul, and it's a student city. This is a good thing that you can study in Daejeon. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, our speakers. So that's the last questions. I would like also to inform you about the certificate. Please fill the form on the link we shared during this webinar to enable you to have the certificate. All right. Now we come to the end of today's webinar. Before we close this webinar, we will do a photo session first. Please turn on your camera for the participants on the Zoom, so we can see your beautiful and handsome face. All right. Are you guys ready? Okay, so I'm going to count to 3. So everyone smile. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, another one. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, done. Thank you. We will show you our next webinar. Please, if you got the information, we have another webinar number 11. So this is a start in Southern Switzerland. If you have any interest to study in the Europe, also you can join our webinar. This is on Friday, 9 April 2021 at 7 p.m. Jakarta time with Walter Loser, Switzerland. Brilliant International School representative in Lausanne, sport in Switzerland, skiing, and STEM activities and tourism objects. Probably you could also join that our webinar next week on Friday. All right. Please also, if you have any other questions that we cannot answer in today's webinar, you can always check our YouTube or our IG, Instagram, our social media. You please subscribe the IS YouTube and follow our Instagram. All right, once again, thank you. Kamsahamnida to our speakers, Mr. Rukjoy, Mr. Rukjoy, Mr.
고생하셨습니다.
네, 감사합니다. Really, we really appreciate your time here. So I would also like to thank everyone for spending your time with us today. I hope this webinar can enlighten you and give you a new perspective to learn more about South Korea, and you will join the online Korean language program for this coming June 2021 course. You don't need to come to Korea for preparing your language because you can do it here in Indonesia, but also with native speaker. It will save your time, money, and to well prepare you study in Korea for a bachelor, for a master, or even your PhD. You may join our exchange program to make you able to learn about their culture, lifestyle, the food, the music, sport, fashion, and feel the homestay experience. If you want to know more details about all of our program, please do check IS Foundation website on www.is.or.id. We are more than happy to help and assist you. Every end has a new beginning. Best wishes to all of you, and we'll see you in another IS webinar. Thank you. I'm Marinda Harsono signing off. 좋은 저녁 됐어요. 안녕히 가세요. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bangga.